Everybody, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining. Now in today's episode we're going to continue on with these practice game reviews. They're doing my head in right now, just calm it down. Now last night I actually finished doing this the one I'm doing right now was actually completed last night. Stayed up till 12:30 recording this. Then I went to edit it, and something wrong. The audio didn't work. I was going to go crazy. I couldn't work out what's wrong because the audio was showing that it's working, and it took me ages to figure it out. So because I'm not that smart, okay, but I eventually worked it out. So we're back, okay. The videos are back, and let's start with our review. Now, before I start our review, life is very important. It's very precious, and I have a good friend of mine. Janko Stoyanovsky, he's one of our regulars on our channel, and his partner is also a regular in that she plays Supercoach, and she even set up her team. They both received some bad news today, and Lisa is fighting now cancer, and they've set up a GoFundMe page, and if anyone can contribute to their cause, it'll be greatly appreciated. Even if you put $1 in, okay. If we get 2,000 views and $1 from each person, that's $2,000. So it'll be greatly appreciated by this young couple. Well, they're young. There's no age barrier for young and old. They are young, okay. 54 years old is very young, and she has two autistic children as well. So it's life is tough sometimes, and we come across big challenges. So hopefully Lisa can fight it. She's a fighter, and she'll fight this battle, and hopefully she'll win it, and we know she will. We're going to back her in. The details will all be in my description below the video, so if you want to help with this great cause, you'll find it all there, and the link will be there. Now let's move over to the game. We're looking at GWS versus Carlton, and Carlton had a good victory here. Now, it wasn't about who's winning and losing, but there are players that are doing their heads in right now, and most of them are at half-back, and Lockie Ash is one of them. He scored 125 Supercoach points with 81% time on ground. What do we do? Okay, we're going to see him again next week. Don't jump on straight away. Don't get too excited. We saw Kahan also score a 115. Okay, now these are all mid-price players. These are the players that are perfect for our teams in regards to they're going to make money, they're going to score points. But a lot of these are traps, so we've got to be careful. But looks like Ash and Kahan both went nuts, keeping in mind with Kahan there was no Tom Green, so we don't know what he's going to do when Tom Green's in the team. But Kahan is pretty much ready to also take the next level, but he also has 2 bye rounds, so something to consider. Lockie Midfield scored the 101. It was just, actually no, he scored, what did he score? He scored a 97. It was just a Lockie Whitfield game, okay? It was on first gear, 28 touches. He was hardly putting in any effort in. There was no, well, he did at the end of the game sit on the bench because I actually thought he was injured. He sat on the bench. It looked like he had a cramp. Okay, too much running around. Even though he was on first gear, because he didn't change gears. That's the problem. Just calm it down. When you drive a Ferrari, you got to change gears. Otherwise, you're going to get tired. That's what happened with Whitfield. So he came back on, and all was good. Ended up having 70% time on ground with his score of 97. Now, Jones, this is not Dean Jones, but this is a different Jones, and it's an awkward price. Scored a 101 pass, I think. Well, we'll look at Jones's price later on, but he'd have to be a pass, okay? Going further down, Josh Kelly, I don't think is Supercoach relevant. He used to be once upon a time, but he's more of a winger these days, so and he doesn't often play a lot of games, okay? He misses through injury every 6 or 7 weeks he's out, so I'll probably pass on Kelly Grandpa now. Brett Daniels, 80 Supercoach points, probably not enough, actually. It's 78, but not enough, and people were talking about him, but he's too expensive. Okay, last year on the back end of last year, he had some huge scores, but I did his review and it's a pass. Okay, his scores are going to be unpredictable. He's going to have these big games and games where he doesn't do much. Okay, and then he's got his average games, and that's pretty much his average game, 78. The Himmelberg. Okay. I think his Supercoach relevancy is out the window now because those kick-ins aren't there. Okay, if he had the kick-ins, then he'll be relevant, but they're not. He's not. Whitfield is in charge. Okay, and Ash took a few as well. So we're going to find out who actually takes these kick-ins because in round 0, if we see Ash and Whitfield sharing the kick-ins, maybe taking the same amount. Okay, Ash could be a juicy prospect. Okay, so keep an eye on Ash for round 0 with kick-ins. If they have, let's say Carlton kicked 10 or let's say 15 behinds, if they shared 7 each, okay, but I don't have any stats. But if they did, Ash is going to be very, very welcome to my club. Okay, so the kick-ins is vital. Okay, so let's see with Ash in round 0 what he does. Now, Bedford, okay, the man that sleeps in bed and with his forward, okay, the bed forward, okay. Now, with Bedford, he's a pass, okay. The coach said pre-season that Bedford's gonna not tag as much. I think he was lying, okay. He's a con artist and he tried to lie to us, but we caught him out. We caught out the lie. He's a liar, okay. So the man that sleeps in bed with his forward is not. He's going to be a tagger, okay? Now, forget about Bedford. Now, Hogan last year started like a house on fire. It's a massive gamble. I would pass. Not interested in any full forwards. So don't worry about Hogan. Even with 3 goals, only scored 62 points. However, the next 2 are very Supercoach relevant, okay? Stone, in particular, in our forwards lines. He's going to score 60s, and that's all we want. He's only like 120k, okay? If you can score 60s at 120k, you just lock him in, okay? And you can even field him. 60s is going to be enough, especially with best 22 and the best 18. When you got 23 or 19 players, I would say Bedford's not a problem. So, Stone is a lock. Now, the next one is Leak, okay? He started really well, okay? Then he went quiet. And then he continued going well. So I think he's good enough. I think he'll play round 1. Well, for us. We're going to see him in round 0. And the good thing with both of these, Stone and Leak, if they play round 0, then they play round 1. Okay, they're virtually on the bubble in round 2, but they have a bye. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But you can even get them in round 2 or in round 3 if you missed out on them. Okay, so hopefully Leak can go as good as he did and score a 61 as well. 61 is good enough. So I think these 2 are probably going to play round 1, both of them. And I would lock them both in because we know, even though League plays in the midfield, in our Supercoach teams, he plays in defence, and we don't have any defenders rookie price available. So League is going to be a lock if he plays. Now, Cornelius, okay, now, he was mentioned by a few people on Twitter, I heard, but I'd say Grandpa's a pass. He's at that price where for Cornelius, the Grandpa, you can get the Chera, for a similar price. I'd rather get Chera, okay, the young gun, okay. Even though Chera is injury prone as much as Cornelius is, I'd still back in the younger one. So probably a pass. Now let's go further down. Is there anyone else here that's Supercoach relevant? I don't think so. There could be one more. There's 2 more here. There's Angrove. Okay, now we saw last week Angrove. He looked the goods. Okay, we were hoping that he's got this wing role, but that didn't happen. Okay, he only played 33%. Or what is it? 33% time on ground, 11 points. Looks like he could be a sub-risk. So we're going to have to pass on Angrove. And Rousden, even a bigger pass. So both these 2 players, even though Angrove did look promising, it looks like it's going to be Connor Stone and Leak are the 2 main ones that may play round 1. Kieran Briggs didn't play. He had a virus or something from what I heard, which is a reason why the Conning went nuts, okay, because he was up against no ruckman. Who was he up against? He was playing against where is he? Keith, okay, and Keith is not really what you call a genuine gun ruckman. So the Conning was just having a picnic, and we'll talk about him pretty soon. Actually, we'll talk about the Conning now. The good thing about the Conning, okay, is he only had 20 hitouts, okay, 20 hitouts against a ruckman of of Keith's quality, okay, who actually beat him at 25. It wasn't the ruck work that got the Conning the points. So what was it, okay? Well, the ruck work was a factor because out of his 20 hitouts, when the Conning has a hitout, he seems to master the art of hitting it to advantage. He was tapping it behind him most of the times, and he was finding players. He was very much Gorn-esque, okay, Gorn-esque. The way he was doing some of his tap work, it was like he's learned this art of tapping. It looked good. I was actually surprised at how good his tap work was. So Gorn has given him a big rap, saying he's going to be the future best ruckman in the AFL. Could be a breakout, okay? I did a review, a video on him. Let's go over here. Videos. Okay, we did a video, TDK plus SDK Ave traps. They had a lot of positives and negatives. TDK's negatives was Pitts. That was the only negative, and the unknown of when Pitts is going to play. However, there is news I'm hearing is that Curnow may take a bit longer to develop, or well, not to develop, but to play, because it looks like his injury is going to exceed the early bye round. So maybe round 4 or 5 from the way Gaze was talking on SEN. So I'm thinking if that's the case, maybe TDK has enough to get him go for 7 or 8 weeks, and maybe we can make some cash on him. So I've changed my mind on him, and I'm probably going to start him now, okay, because he's highly owned, 38% I think last time I saw it. It could be more, okay. Now, when you've got a player that can score 130s and that's highly owned, you don't want to antipod these kind of players, and he's cheap, okay. If he was 700k, different story, I'll antipod him, but priced at 540, I think it is, 540k, I think I have to get him now. It's going to be too dangerous to antipod, so we're going to jump on the Conning bandwagon, just coming down. Now, we got Chera here, and he was 4% owned, and I did do a review on him saying that I liked what I saw, and I think he's going to be top 3 midfielder at Carlton, and he didn't let down. Only had 57% time on ground. Scored a 108. Okay, he actually looked quite good. He did play against a team that didn't have Tom Green, so but they did have a midfield, so it wasn't like he was up against nothing. So I like Chera at his price at 430k. I think he'll average between 100 and 105, and he's going to make some cash. He's not going to make 150k, so don't get too excited. But he'll make something, okay? Maybe 100k. And with that 100k comes his scoring potential of 105 every week. So I think at 4%, no one owns him. It's incredible. So I'll definitely grab him. Now, going further down at Carlton, Kemp is actually Supercoach relevant, not because we want to get him in our teams, because he can possibly take Pitts out of all these Wits and Pitts and whatever they are. So Kemp can hold out Pitts from the team if he continues playing well, which is a good thing. So Carlton won't miss Curnow as much. So we want Kemp to do well, okay, for the Conning to have more job security. Kemp is our key at the moment, I think, okay? I'm not a Carlton supporter, but that's the way I'm seeing it right now, because if Carlton are only going to have one forward, they're going to be in trouble, so they need 2. And with Curnow out, and Curnow, we don't know, he could be out for 10 weeks, we don't know. They haven't fixed him, okay? They're saying at start of the season, it could be any time, no one knows. So let's keep an eye on Kemp, and let's hope he plays well so that we can keep the Conning. Now, Sard, I think, is a imposter. Okay, now I want to see how many kick-ins he had. I don't have stats, and unfortunately, we're not going to have those stats. So He did score a 101. He's always been the player that can go roughly 100s, then he could score 70. So Saad to own is very scary, okay? So I'd pass on Saad. Hewitt is probably not Supercoach relevant for us this year. Going further down, Orazio Fantasia probably had one of his best games, but it was a practice game, so also injury prone. Forget about him. Cripps was in first gear all night, so whatever he scored doesn't matter. He's going to be, we know he can average around about between 105 and 110, I think his average is. So it's good enough for a top 8 to 10 with Cripps. So if you're going to start him, you can't go wrong. He plays Richmond first round. But I feel with Cripps, you can get him at the same price or lower anytime during the year. So I don't think that Cripps actually offers value. But I think Cripps offers you that pod, and also because he's not going to get any better. Okay, we know what Cripps can do. So I mean, he's won 2 Brownlows, not averaging 120s or 130s. So Cripps is going to be a player that goes 1-5, 110, 115, and as I said, you can get him any time. Now, Ollie Hollands. Okay, actually before him, we'll talk about Zach Williams. Just pass Spud. Okay, we saw last year. If a mosquito bites him, he goes down and injured. He's like one of those soccer players you watch on in EPL. The minute no one touches him, he falls on the floor. He acts like he's injured. And every time I see Zach Williams, he's always crippled. There's something wrong. It's like he needs to go to emergency hospital before you know he's running around again. So I'd pass on Zach Williams. If you follow soccer, he reminds me of Neymar. Okay, how Neymar always goes down. Zach Williams is another Neymar. Now, Ollie Hollands, a lot of talk, a lot of hype pre-season. He had 17 disposals. He did okay. He had, 89% time on ground, but he can't kick, okay? You can't play AFL if you're going to kick with your knees and your shins. And unfortunately, Ollie Hollands needs to learn how to kick the ball. I know some people think that he's a good kicker. I have a friend of mine who we're having a debate with telling me he's a genius kick, but he's not. Hollands can't kick. Now, even his brother thinks so. Now, going further down, we got Lord. Now, problem with Lord is his price. If it was 180k even, okay, I would consider Lord, all right? But at 250k-ish, actually, I've got to check his price, but I think it's about 250k. I'd say pass. Don't worry about him. Camporeale is one that I liked, okay? Now, I got the early mail saying that Camporeale is going to be playing, most likely replacing Binns, okay? They have Camporeale ahead of Binns right now. And he did good, okay? I mean, he didn't score many Supercoach points, only, 65 Supercoach points, but he had 20 touches, okay? So there's room for improvement. Those Supercoach points could have been easily 80, 85. So he's a massive sub-risk, okay? However, at his price, I think he could be worth the risk. If he plays round 1 against Richmond and it's not the sub, I'm going to start him. Silvani is another one, was mentioned pre-season, and the role is just not there to score points. His role, if he was 150k, I would not even consider him. Okay, I would probably consider him if he was 130 or 120k. But at his price of 250k, definitely not interested. Okay, so I'll probably pass on Silvani, and going further down the dock. I don't know what his role is, okay? Pre-season, I mentioned, I did a video on him. I said he's a must-have if he plays in half-back. He's not playing half-back. He's not taking those kick-ins. Unfortunately for the dock, he's just missed a fix from the looks of it. So I'll probably pass on the dock. As much as we all love the dock, okay? I'll probably pass on him. Now, Motlop, okay, now he's going to be one of those slow burns. I think very expensive, similar price. To those 150k high half, pretty much forward pockets, the position I hate, okay, so probably going to be a pass on Motlop. Now, was there anyone else? I don't think there was anyone else. Or Carroll is 99k. but only played the one quarter, so I'm not sure if he's in their plans or what he's going to do. So probably going to be he had 7 disposals in that one quarter. So in that one quarter he did okay, but Supercoach wise he didn't, but fantasy wise he did. So looks like his disposal or whatever it was wasn't up to scratch. It was just basic points. So let's now move on. Now let's see from this game the Supercoach relevant players. Okay, now Lockie Whitfield we already mentioned he's owned by 13%. Okay, now I think from memory it was 9%, so he's actually gone up in ownership. People are getting excited now, or they're building their teams right now, so they've sort of waited and now started to build their teams. So Lockie Whitfield, 13% owned, is looking good. Now, if we go further down, is there anybody else? Okay, now Lockie Ash at 456k. Now I want to see, like I mentioned previously, the kick-ins because you're getting Ash at 150k cheaper, okay, than Whitfield. Now if they've got the same role, if they're both going to take kick-ins, okay, and have the same role, you're better off to go for Ash. So let's find out in round 0, does Ash have the same kick-ins as Whitfield, or is Whitfield the man, okay? Are they still going to use Whitfield for everything? So we'll find out. Now, going further down, I don't think we have many players that are relevant. Nick Haynes, awkward price. He's not going to be the one, so probably pass on Haynes. Going further down, there's nobody actually. What's wrong with Fahy? I think he's suspension. He's got suspension to round 5, but he's cheaper. Unfortunately, he's not playing. Leak is the one that we're hoping for. Okay, we're hoping to see Leak play for us. And Carroll, okay, 99k, but he didn't play the whole game, but he played 1 quarters, okay, pretty much scoring at what a rookie scores at. So let's see if Carroll is going to be playing for us. Now let's move over into the midfield now. And Cripps is relevant, okay, now 595k. Does he have value? I'm not sure. I think he's priced at what he can score, his output. Okay, so he's going to have games where he goes 80. He's going to have games where he goes 140. So he's pretty much that kind of player. Sam Walsh could be back. We didn't see him. He's probably going to play round 1 because there's no injury on him. Okay, so with Sam Walsh back, how's this going to affect players like Chera? Okay, I don't think it affects Chera. I think if anything, it helps Chera because maybe Walsh can give Chera more ball. So we'll see how it goes. More options for Chera to get the ball. So Sam Walsh is Supercoach relevant. He'll be a very big pod. 2% own him, which is actually surprising. So he is a pod. Tom Green, we know, is not playing. Probably out for a while. Probably 4 or 5 weeks. We don't know. Supercoach relevancy-wise, Doherty is not relevant no more. Chera is owned by 6% now. It was 4% a couple of days ago. Now it's 6%. Which is actually surprising how low it is still. I'm surprised it's not 15%, to be honest. So if he's going to be even under 10% owned, it's a major advantage for his owners at this price. So Chera is an interesting one. Callahan is on the same page as Chera, okay? Also 3% owned. He's got room for improvement. If we have a look at Finn Callahan last year, he averaged 82, okay? Now, you're going to get Callahan for a breakout season if you're going to get him, okay? So it's a gamble, okay? Because Callahan, where's his scores? Okay, where are these scores? What's happened? It says here 22. I can't see nothing. Data coming soon. Well, what 2024 data? Where is it? There's 2023 data. Where's 2024? Oh, here it comes. Okay, come now. Okay, just settle down. Now, Callahan last year started at 408k. All right, ended the year same. Nothing changed. Okay, so I don't know is Callahan going to break out. People were hoping he would break out last year. He didn't. He still scored his 104s, 107s. He also scored the low scores, so he didn't really break out. I don't even know why he was priced so high, considering the previous year he was priced at, he averaged 73. So that's actually incredible. averaging 82 is actually underpriced. Okay, so you're getting him at a good price. Put it that way. But for me, you can watch him again next week, round 0. If he goes nuts, what will you do? Okay, that's a decision you have to make. But for me, it's too much of a high risk. I'd pass. I'm happy to grab Chera, who's less risk, because I know what I'm getting with Chera. So Callahan could score the same as Chera, but you're taking a risk to get that score. Plus, he has a bye round. Okay, so there's 2 factors there. Now, going further down, the man that sleeps in bed with a Ford, I think is a pass, okay? The Bedford, okay, is a not good. Is there anyone else here of interest? Lord, we were talking about before, 250k is too much. I'd rather pay for example, where is he? Lucas Campariali, 113k. I'm happy if Lord scores an 80 with his 250k price tag. I'll take a 60 from a Campariali at 113. I'll be much happier. So I'll leave Lord here. He probably will go 80, but for me it's a pass. Now, even though Lord will make 150k, I don't want to spend an extra 100k to make that 150k. Okay, I'd rather spend that 100k and upgrade a player like, say, Cripps to a gun. Okay, so that's what I would do with the 100k. Now, Angrove is not going to meet our expectations. Okay, it looks like he's going to be maybe a sub, or maybe not going to play. So that was disappointing. Rousden, the same thing. Okay, not going to happen. We didn't even see much of Hannaford. He's extra 1% of teams, which is surprising. Let's go further. Let's go up a bit. Was there anyone that we missed? Okay, I think we got them all. Actually, Ollie Hollands we didn't talk about. Okay, and how many people own him? 2%. That's a surprise. Okay, I would pass on Hollands, pass on Coniglios, also owned by 0%. Okay, so everyone nearly agrees with me on Coniglios. Now in the rucks, okay, we've got the Conning, and now owned by 40%. I looked last night, it was 38%. It's moving up to 40%. It's becoming dangerous territory. You can't have a player owned by half the. Well, it's going to go 50%, probably 60. You can't have a player like this go at 50%, and then he goes nuts, and you fall behind. You have to do a complete restructure. So I'm going to start him. Okay, there's no other options. Now in the forward line, okay, who's relevant? Hogan last year started like a house on fire. He averaged 92, okay, but it's too risky. Has a buy round 2, I think it is. So round 3 or whatever it is, I'll probably pass. Daniels, I'd pass. Too expensive, 485k. At 512k, you can pick up a Rankin. Why would I want a Daniels? Okay, so I'll probably pass. There's not many that are relevant here in the forward line. I mean, Jones is 350k. I didn't think it was that expensive. So even if it was 250k, I wouldn't be interested. But at 350k, just forget it. Okay, so pass. Stringer is not good. Okay, a pass on him. How come Bedford appears every time I look around? Everywhere I look, it's always Bedford. What's going on? Just come it down. Okay, boys, we said no already for Bedford. Now, going further down, is there anyone else? I don't think so. I think Motlop's 190k. Forget it. Okay. There's nobody. Okay, we're gonna pass on. Actually, no, we found one. Okay, Stone. We're gonna with Stone. He's a lock. Okay, we're gonna lock him in our teams, and he's gonna sit either at F5, F6, or F7. Okay, whatever your structure is. He'll be comfortable at either one. Okay, now you have no problems. Now there's only 3 practice games to go, and by the time you watch this video, one of them will be completed. So the games to go with the St Kilda and the Port game, and the St Kilda game is massive for me because the players, I probably own 7 players that belong to St Kilda right now. So this is a big game, big watch, and the following game, West Coast is a big game as well. They have all these cheap rookies. We want to see if they've got job security. So it's a big watch as well. So is North Melbourne. Actually, so is Freo Melbourne. So the next 3 games are big watches. And we'll have videos coming out for you for these games as soon as they're all completed. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.